If you think lust is wanting to sleep with someone, love is wanting to wake up next to them in the morning. Hello and a warm welcome to yet another session on lust. And what do we have in store for you all in our workshop this evening? Well, Puaji will open the session with some healthy lust. Over to you, Puaji.
Good evening, everyone. Good morning to the overseas. Sat Sri Akal, Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh, and Ram Ram Ji. So we are back. A very hot topic. Very hot topic. Give a smile. Give a smile to me. This is something not to be put under the carpet. It is a platform where we are going to actually learn from it. We have to learn. There are a lot of misconceptions. There are a lot of myths and illusions and delusions about lust. So we have already covered up yesterday. We covered up that lust is just not only sex, but there is also food, money, status. All this is also lust. Now, these things can be curbed. Food, a person becomes foodie, can go to a dietitian. Okay. There are certain places where they have addiction centers where they can go and get the things out of their addictions also. What about lust? Because people already have a mindset that lust is something which is a sin. It is not to be discussed. It's supposed to be put under the carpet. So yesterday we have discussed it quite a lot, but I would like to tell you one thing, that lust can be a healthy lust also. It's a healthy way. Now, how you can make it into a healthy way? You will see the healthy lust. This is an umbrella in which I've given you all the points. And what the points say? The healthy lust, it says first, that whenever you are going for a physical, initiating any physical or sexual behavior, what have you to do? You have to always take a consent. Always take a consent of your partner. And when you take the consent of your partner, be very careful that you communicate with them and you put your desires across to them. Male or female, but put across your desires and take the consent of your partner. And then what happens? When you are initiating the sexual behavior, you are doing physical or sexual behavior, always learn to respect the couple. Learn to respect each other. You may be thinking, what is this old woman saying? But yes, we learned it very late, but it helps a lot. After the sexual behavior, always respect and say thank you to them. What will happen when you respect each other? The next point says it repairs issue. It deepens the connection. It deepens the connection. Because when you take a consent or when you put your emotions and desires across, and when you learn also to say thank you, what happens? It is a type of a respect to each other you give. And this repairs issue because the quality is very good. The quality of the sexual act is very good because you have applied these things in a healthy way. So you took the consent, you have communicated your desires, and then you have respected it. Then what happened? This means you're given the 100% of it. That means you repair your issues. It deepens the connection. Many times marriages are breaking. Young couples and all are breaking because of this issue. Why? They don't have time. They say we don't have time. We are very busy. And when they are very busy, when the males come back, they are tired. So they find this as, you can say it is for them to get released. So they want the sex. But then the women are not ready. Women are not ready because they are also tired in the house. They're also tired. But because they never give importance to sex, they've always put it under the carpet. So learn to give each other and give respect to them. Take the consent from them. When you do this, you will see that you are going to repair your relationship. They say, no, if you want to meet your husband, you go through the stomach. So sex is one of them. If you really want to build up your relationships and all, please give in. But remember, it should be 100%. If you give 50%, you will get back 50%. If you give 100%, the quality will be good, the quantity will decrease. That's how the balance goes. If the man is lusty and he wants it every day, then what happens? The wife is not going to be ready. But if this is how you navigate it, what you do it, that you give them the 100%, the man is satisfied and that the quality is so good that the quantity decreases. So that every day comes into week, and then after a week it comes into a month. So you have to navigate it, and it becomes like a fun because you're respecting each other. So this is something, which is very, very important. But if we say we can rebuild, there are many cases where we are helping to rebuild the relationship through sex, healthy sex. Now, if we do not do this healthy thing, then what happens? This lust, which increases, then after all, you have to go, because in this you're unhealthy, you are just destroying yourself and your partner. Then you have to take consulting with some psychologist or some psychiatrist and find out from where it is coming. So please, onwards, do not think sex to be a sin or something dirty. Now we will come on to the tools. Now we'll come on to the tools of how we can control the sex, because there are no centers over there. We don't have centers here that you go there for sex. There are sexologists and all, but we don't have any centers where we can overcome the lust and obsessions. So now let's start with it. Huh? Now we are going to start our journey. If you want to first term the tool to get out of this lust and obsession, we start our journey from body conscious to soul conscious. So you see on the screen, we are starting a journey from body conscious, mean this physical body, which we are attached, and identity. And this identity is what is actually leading us to a real life. Body conscious means we are going to have a lot of negative emotions and negative thoughts. The negative emotions and negative thoughts are going to drive us what? All these negative are going to be the forces for our real life, where we're going to put up a mask. So what are we going to do? The first tool, you start your journey from body conscious to soul conscious. This is a journey. We have to understand how to walk on the path of scripture. Now I will just show you in one of the videos a little bit, and then we can discuss on the next 2 points. Hanji.
आपके बिजनेस का भी डुप्लीकेट हो गया तो GoDaddy पे आओ और .com के साथ .in.
Gurudev, how to overcome lust and other related bad habits?
The more you indulge in it, the more you give that stimuli, the more the heat gets into your head. And when your head is hot, and your vision is blurred, your perception is blurred and all that. So, I think people should stop watching pornography. This is it. The tempting things for people is pornography. Thinking about sex, watching it all the time, really destroy the instrument called brain. At the same time, you shouldn't blame sex. It's a natural thing. It's a natural phenomenon. That's the thing from where everybody is born. So your origin is sex. But let not your death also be sex. And if one is promiscuous, that is what we will have. Our death will also be sex. So be very natural and moderate with sex. It's a part of life. It is there, it's there, but see, when exam times, when you're busy, when you're reading a lot, when you have important work, sex does not matter. See, which are the moments when sex does not really lust doesn't overtake you? Number one, when you're in deep love, it's not the lust which comes up, it's the emotion. Then you overcome lust. When you're deeply in love, emotions reign more than lust. Second, when you are very busy, when you have some urgent thing to do and very busy, lust is not the thing, priority. Third, when you have a great goal to achieve, a big work to do, any creative activity, or dance, music, creativity, when you put yourself into creativity, lust is not bothering you. Then sports and gymnastics. If you are working out very well, or you are in sports, even then, its lust does not overtake you that heavily. Isn't that so? How many of you agree on this? sports and these activities, right? And then fifth is pranayama, meditation. When you are so blissful, lust does not overpower you, okay? But when there is sex is there, and it age and time, it has its period. You know, before 10, it's not there in you, or 10 or 12-year-old. Maybe these days it's coming back much earlier. But let us take 10 as an age, not before 10, and not after 60, not supposed to be. After 60, so lust bothers you only with this particular period. Even after 50, 55, 60, it's not an issue at all. Here's a small story. A grandfather, father and his son, they were traveling. And when they came to a place, and they met a friend who asked them, "What makes you very happy?" They asked the young boy. He said, "Oh, great food and sports and all that makes me very happy." And they asked the father, "What makes you very happy?" "Oh, when I look at beautiful girls, and it makes me very happy, and I have some interaction with them, it thrills me and all that thing." Outside the marriage. That's the best thriller that makes me happy. And they asked the father, the grandfather, "What makes you happy?" Says, "The day I have a good motion." That makes me very happy, very comfortable. The whole day goes so well. Otherwise, every day I'm so constipated. Because I'm constipated, I can't eat. If I eat, more constipation, and I suffer, I don't get sleep. But the day I had a good bowel movement, that is the day I am in heaven. So the concept of happiness is different with different.
What if I told you that one secret essential oil could replace all of the hair growth serums, oils, and products in your hair journey? For all your hair concerns like hair fall.
Obsession of sex is not a new thing, it's an old disease. Tantra is like walking on a sword. People fall from there, they fall completely down. Skillfully, you need to go past.
Okay. So now what was it? You heard Ravi Shankar. So what is it? Sports is very, very important. Not only for this, sports is very important for any of the negative forces. Why? Because we channel those forces. We are just channeling them. So he gives a lot of stress on sports. Then it says no seeing from anything from outside. Now, what happens when we're traveling from body conscious to the soul conscious? We have to use the scriptures. We have to use the knowledge of all the Granths, because in many of the Granths, they talk about the Kama Sutra. They talk about calm. So what happens when we understand the scriptures? Now he has spoken on what we can daily do, but let us be more onto the scientific and the metaphysical feeling about it. It says that in a brain, there are two glands which are called the pineal and the pituitary gland. One is right in front, 2 inches inside the brain, and one is just where we make our bun. So now these glands can be activated. These glands can be activated because these glands are called the master glands. And these master glands, they control all the other glands. They control the total endocrine system also. Now, how do we activate these, the pituitary and the pineal gland? Because if we activate them, then our sexual gland is balanced. Our sexual gland gets balanced. We don't become lusty. We don't become lusty. So to activate, because now you're walking from body conscious to soul conscious, that is from the physical body to the soul conscious. So when we are going towards that, when we activate the pineal gland, and how are they activated? They're activated by our positive thinking, by using all the virtues, using all the gyan of the Guru. जब ਅਸੀਂ उनको ज्ञान use करते हैं, what have we transmute? We transmute our negative thoughts. We transmute all our negative forces also. So what is it? This is spirituality. Spirituality doesn't mean कि तुसी जाके किसी पहाड़ां ते बैठ जाओ या घंटे घंटे बैठ के meditation ते बैठो. What does Guru Granth Sahib says? With open eyes, you are meditating. You are handling each and every situation. When you're handling each and every situation gracefully, so what are you doing? When you are handling them very gracefully, you can say, when you're handling it, at that time, you are actually transmuting your negative into positive and transmuting your vices into virtues. This is spirituality. So the journey has started from body conscious to the soul conscious. When we are practicing this of transmuting, what happens? Ke sade andar de jehde thoughts honden, they go and hit directly onto the pineal and the pituitary gland. They go and hit against the pituitary and pineal gland. When they hit, they are called the spiritual glands. They are called the spiritual gland. When they go and hit against them, they are the master glands. They control, they secrete out certain hormones and chemicals, which they are actually taking care of the whole endocrine system. And in endocrine system, the last gland in the abdomen is our sexual gland. It goes and it's again the sexual gland and it balances it. Our lusty feelings move off. But that is when we have great thoughts, we have good thoughts. So we can sort of put in a simple way, doing spiritual practices. Doing spiritual practices. Now, spiritual practices, many people might be saying spiritual practice means going to the Gurdwara and Mandir, or we think that we're going to doing Path or Kirtan or Bhajan. This is spiritual acts. But in the spiritual acts, we are not transmuting our thoughts. In these times, usually our ego increases. I'm sorry to say, but this happens. When we बहुत ज़्यादा हम लोग गुरुद्वारे मंदिरों में जाते हैं ना, तो our ego inflates that हम तो गुरुद्वारे मंदिर में जाने वाले हैं, हम तो बहुत spiritual लोग हैं. Our ego inflates. When our ego inflates, then you can see all the children of his, the full army, काम क्रोध लोभ मोह अहंकार, in the full उसकी पूरी बारात तैयार हो जाती है. But if we say spiritual practice, like we all are learning on the JJ platform, what are we learning? Every day we are handling situations and we're handling it very gracefully. To hold it very gracefully, we need the knowledge. We need the knowledge of how to handle them. In the knowledge, we're coming to know how great we are, how pious we are. We are not the body conscious. We are not this body. This is not our identity. Our identity is the soul conscious. So what happens when we're doing these spiritual practices? Simple word, as we are doing Naam Simran, we just let go. No judgment, no blame game. These are all spiritual practices. When we are doing, automatically what happens? The spiritual glands are activated and our sexual glands are balanced. So going from body conscious to soul conscious is practicing your spiritual practices. Okay, let's go onto the screen and let's see what is the next point. What is the next point? Okay. Now the next point, it says, when the thing has been activated, when the pineal gland has been activated, how we have to balance our yin and yang. We have to balance. At times, you see the females and all are very much having a yang in there. They're very boyish. They're not that delicate darlings, They are more of a ball, you can say tomboyish. So we have to learn, when having a partner with your partners and all, with the male, you have to be able to control this yin and yang. It should be balanced. So also for the man, it is the same thing they have to, but how? By practicing all your spiritual practices, which activates the pineal gland. On what are the spiritual practices? As it is written, accept others, total surrender, just let go. Now, let's come on to the next point. What does it say? It says you have to understand the law of the universe. Very, very important. Very, very important. In this law of the universe, it's telling you about the yin and yang. It's telling you how to balance your the pituitary gland, your pineal gland, and it becomes a very harmonious act. It's a very harmonious act with your partners. Now it says that this law, when you understand the law, how will you understand the law until you don't have the education? We do not know. As we have already done in our previous webinars and in a workshop, all about the laws. Now those laws and all are being drilled in us. It has been drilled in us. Now we know that every law is working day in and out, even if we are aware or not. Even if we are aware or not. So when we understand the law of nature and when we are practicing on the law of nature, automatically our rhythm is there, our yin and yang has been very well balanced, and we find that a pituitary gland is being activated, because following on the path of the law of the universe is also spiritual act. These are spiritual practices. Get this myth out. By reading the Granth or by reading the books or reading the part of doing bhajan is spiritual act? No. Spiritual act is which is 24/7 you are practicing. And where it is practiced is being practiced in your thoughts. So now the next point says, what does the next point say? Okay. Now keep yourself super busy. What did he say? What did Ravi Shankar say? Keep yourself very, very busy. And now you will see another video over here.
Guruji, what is the easiest way to overcome thoughts of obsession, lust and desire?
You want the easiest way for that. Keep yourself busy. Put your passion to some bigger cause. Okay, be passionate. I want to create this, or I want to make some. So when you are so busy in spreading the knowledge, spreading the dharma, day and night you think how you can reach out to people or do some good work in life, or write articles, write music, write songs. You'll find it, Obsessions don't bother you. Especially if you are a youngster, if you have that young age, youth must keep themselves utterly busy.
Guruji, what is the easiest way to overcome thoughts of obsession, lust and desire?
You want the easiest way for that. Keep yourself busy. Put your passion to some bigger cause. Be passionate. I want to create this, or I want to make some. So when you are so busy in spreading the knowledge, spreading the dharma, day and night you think how you can reach out to people or do some good work in life, or write articles, write music, write songs. You'll find it, Obsessions don't bother you. Especially if you are a youngster, if you have that young age, youth must keep themselves utterly busy.
Guruji, what is the easiest way to overcome thoughts of obsession, lust and desire?
You want the easiest way for that. Keep yourself busy.
So he has told about keeping yourself very busy. Now let's come onto the screen, onto the next point. The next point says how to channel the 5 senses in a positive way and to stop the gateway for the negative process. When you are traveling from body conscious to soul conscious, when you're traveling from body conscious to soul conscious, so what happens? We are channeling our 5 senses in a very positive way. If we channelize them in a very positive, we feel very happy and mindful. But how do we do it? We have to channel it. When our mind frame, our mind thoughts, they are being transmuted from negative to positive. How? By our scriptures, by having the using of the knowledge. We transmute all our negative thoughts and emotion. So what happened? Slowly, all our five senses, we say these are the gateways. All these five gateways and all, what do they come? They are being channeled. They are being guided. Pehle what it was? The man was totally consciousness, was having all the lusty feeling, the thoughts, the emotions. So what happened? That was guiding all the five senses and always on the watch out. What are the dirty things happening in the world? What are people doing? Then we compare them. Then we want to do what they want. Then there's jealousy. Then there is a lot of revenge. There are a lot of things that negative come. But because of those negative thoughts and the negative emotions, that was the force of the real life. Now, what have we done? According to our spiritual practices, we are transmuting our negative thoughts and our negative emotions into positive thoughts and positive emotions. When they are now, they shut the door for all the negative forces to come in, and the doors are open for what? They channel all the indriyas, all the five senses, and they are always attracting. Already you know the law of attraction. First, the subconscious mind was full of negative. The doors were open and it was attracting the same thing. Now, the subconscious mind is totally been pure and it has got positive thinking. The gateways are open, and what is it? It attracts. It attracts. You can handle all the situations very beautifully. So what happened? This is how we stop the negative coming inside, and we allow only the indriyas to be practicing very pure and flawless acts. We अच्छी गल्लां सुनेंगे, अच्छी चीज़ां देखेंगे, ਅਸੀਂ no pornography नहीं देखेंगे. What will we do? We'll go to nice places. We'll have a lot of communication with good people. All our indriyas are working according to the force coming from the subconscious mind. The force energy. Before it was negative, so it was attracting the real life. And now it is all positive. So what does it? It makes us very happy. All the trusty things have been gone. Now turn knowledge to wisdom. Today, whatever I'm doing on this platform, what happens? We say that I'm just talking to you, people are hearing. This is just simple knowledge. Simple knowledge. If after the session, you just shut up and just go off and say, okay, I've heard from you, I know a lot. And you do not practice, you do not walk on the truthful path, then what happens? The knowledge will remain a knowledge and ego will again pop up. Why? I've got a lot of knowledge. But if you take this knowledge and you walk on it, you practice it, and you become very alert, and you're going to handle every situations in life, then what happens? Slowly you'll find that you're becoming happy, you're blissful. You'll find a lot of transformation going on, and you'll be a much happier person. You'll be able to handle all these situations in life. That means that the knowledge has become wisdom, because now you are practicing and you are experiencing it. Wisdom is that, but you have to experience it. So you cannot experience it without changing knowledge to wisdom. Usually we do not change. Asi hai bade besharam, asi to sunya bahut hai, ego is playing, I learned a lot, and all your people listen to me. But please, my humble request, please go back and just go over it and walk over this path and turn the knowledge to wisdom. So now you can just watch another video.
It didn't matter what reproductive organs a man or somebody carries, didn't matter to you. The moment the hormones started playing within you, now you can't think of the world beyond that. Your whole intelligence has been completely hijacked by your hormones. And you will see beyond a certain age, when this hormone, the play of hormones goes down, once again it doesn't matter, and you look back and say, you can't believe you were the one who were doing all that. Body knows only one thing: survival, procreation. It doesn't know anything else, isn't it so? Does your body know anything else? So if you go by the way of the body, some pleasure may come to you, not that it won't, nothing wrong with the body, it's just limited, that's all. Nothing wrong being limited, but it's not the ultimate, that's all. Is it anything, is it a crime to be limited? It's not a crime, nothing wrong about it. But you will always live an unfulfilled life, that's all. No matter what you have, how much you have, you will still live an unfulfilled life. Now you are thinking about the opposite sex all the time. Let's say tomorrow I'll grant you a boon. All the women in the world are after you. You will see, you will still live an unfulfilled life. Yes? You will still live an unfulfilled life. So definitely it's not going to get you beyond the bar. It will make you maybe a pleasant little bit of pleasure, little bit of pain will happen. Nothing wrong at all with it. I'm not trying to make it dirty, make it something else. No, it is fine, it's perfectly fine. But you will live within the ambit of the body. If you live within the ambit of the body, body knows only survival and procreation, it doesn't know anything else. And body, every moment of your life, no matter where you think you're going, you think you went up the mountain, you came down the mountain, body doesn't know all that. Body is straight walking to the grave, every moment, nowhere else. Isn't it so? You think you're going to many places, you think I've come to India, I'll go back to Lebanon, I went up the mountain, I came down the mountain. No such thing. Every step, body is only walking straight to the grave, nowhere else but the grave. So, right now, because you're young, because of the play of hormones, you've forgotten that. Slowly, as time passes, it becomes more, it will become more and more apparent that it is walking towards the grave.
इस 5 विकार हैं, 7 गुण हैं। जितना हम इन 5 विकारों को यूज कर रहे हैं अपने जीवन में, अपने अपने रूप से यूज कर रहे हैं, उतना हमारी इस हवा के अंदर, इस सृष्टि के अंदर कौन सी वाइब्रेशन क्रिएट हो रही है? कौन सी वाइब्रेशन क्रिएट हो रही है? काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, अहंकार। अगर हम कुछ भी ऐसा सुनते हैं, कुछ भी ऐसा पढ़ते हैं, कुछ भी ऐसा देखते हैं जिससे हम लस्टफुल वाइब्रेशन क्रिएट करते हैं, अगर हम कुछ भी ऐसा सोचते हैं, कुछ भी ऐसा बोलते हैं, कुछ भी ऐसा करते हैं जिससे लस्ट की वाइब्रेशन क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, हम हवा को दूषित करते हैं। आज अगर हम ये प्रतिज्ञा करें कि मेरे अंदर एक भी सोच काम विकार की नहीं आ सकती, मेरे अंदर की हर सोच सिर्फ प्योरिटी की होगी, पवित्रता की होगी, तब हम अपना कंट्रीब्यूशन कर रहे हैं कि हम इस हवा को क्या कर देंगे? क्या करेंगे इस हवा को? हमें इस हवा को प्योर बनाना है। जब हम सब मिलकर इस हवा को प्योर बनाएंगे ना, तो अगर किसी के मन में कोई दूषित सोच आएगी भी, तो वो वातावरण की प्योरिटी से क्या हो जाएगी? खत्म हो जाएगी। लेकिन अगर हम सब मेजॉरिटी काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, अहंकार की सोच क्रिएट करेंगे, तो हवा में कौन सी वाइब्रेशन है? कौन सी वाइब्रेशन है? सिर्फ वही वाइब्रेशन है। तो जिसकी सोच में थोड़ा भी कुछ मैल आया और हवा वैसे ही मैली है, तो फिर कर्म में आना जो हुआ उसके प्रति सिर्फ निंदा करके, बोल के हमारी जिम्मेवारी पूरी नहीं होती है। हमारी जिम्मेवारी तब शुरू होती है कि हम इस हवा से काम विकार को खत्म करने के लिए हम क्या रेडी हैं करने के लिए। आर वी रेडी टू डू समथिंग? आर वी रेडी टू डू समथिंग? प्रतिज्ञा करें, ना कभी ऐसी चीज सुनेंगे, ना कोई ऐसी मूवी देखेंगे, ना कोई ऐसा सीन देखेंगे, ना कोई ऐसा वीडियो देखेंगे, ना कोई ऐसी मैगजीन पढ़ेंगे, ना कोई ऐसा जोक सुनेंगे, ना ऐसा सोचेंगे, ना बोलेंगे, सिर्फ पवित्र सोचेंगे। तब तो हमने कुछ किया ना चीजों को बदलने के लिए। सिर्फ हमारे बोलने से विश्व नहीं बदल सकता है, हमारे क्रिटिसाइज करने से, शोर मचाने से विश्व नहीं बदलेगा।
The more you indulge in it, the more you give that stimuli, the more the heat gets into your head. And when your head is hot and your vision is blurred, your perception is blurred and all that. So, I think people should stop watching pornography. This is it. The tempting things for people is pornography. Thinking about sex, watching it all the time, really destroy the instrument called brain. You know, at the same time you shouldn't blame sex. It's a natural thing, it's a natural phenomenon. That's the thing from where everybody is born. So your origin is sex, but let not your death also be sex. And if one is promiscuous, that is what we will have. You know, our death will also be sex. So, be very natural and moderate with sex. It's a part of life. It is there, it's there, but see, when exam times, when you are busy, when you are reading a lot, when you have important work, sex does not matter. See, which are the moments when sex does not really lust doesn't overtake you? Number one, when you are in deep love, it's not the lust which comes up, it's the emotion. Then you overcome lust. When you're deeply in love, emotions reign more than lust. Second, when you are very busy, when you have some urgent thing to do and very busy, lust is not the thing, priority. Third, when you have a great goal to achieve, a big work to do, you have any creative activity, or dance, music, creativity, when you put yourself into creativity, lust is not bothering you. Then sports and gymnastics. If you are working hard very well, or you are in sports, even then lust does not overtake you that heavily. Isn't that so? How many of you agree on this? Sports and these activities, right? And then fifth is pranayama, meditation. When you are so blissful, the lust does not overpower you. Okay? But when there is sex is there, and it age and time, it has its period.
And he went all out to live his life. The way they described him was, every film star, every popular film star or model or something else, they said. Somebody else. Huh? Not celebrity. He had them on his arm at some time or the other. Sometimes he had all the three on his arm. But by the time he passed his 35, he is such a broken, miserable man. He is such a broken, miserable, frustrated man. At the age of 56 or 57, he died. Death is not the issue, but the way you live is the issue, isn't it? He lived a terrible life. He had everything at him because the way of the body. If you try to make the limited the unlimited, you will suffer. There is no other way. The body's ways are very limited. If you try to make it the everything, you will suffer like anything. So you don't make it all, you bring in a little bit of emotion, little bit of mind, little bit of society and try to manage it somehow. But it doesn't matter what you do. If you are sincere with your life, you will see you're still living an unfulfilled life, isn't it? So nothing wrong with the body, nothing wrong with the ways of the body. It is just very limited. It can only play that much role in your life. If you try to stretch it to all your life, you will suffer because you are trying to create falsehood. The truth of life is, body has to play only that much role in your life. Now you are trying to stretch it all over, you will definitely bring suffering to yourself. Suffering will come in a million different ways. People who think they are just perfect, nothing will ever happen to him, such people you will see after some time what will happen to them. Life has its ways to bend you and break you and knead you and grind you in a million different ways. In most unexpected ways it will do it to you. Yes? Have you seen it happening to people around you? So, nothing wrong with your hormones, but it's compulsive. Once you live a compulsive life, you're living the life of a slave, isn't it? Yes? Do you want to be a slave? something within you never wants to be a slave, isn't it so? There is something within you which cannot be a slave. Whether you are a slave to something or somebody or whatever, but once you are a slave, unknowingly, slowly you will become a long face. When you were a child, you were like this, because there was not so much slavery. Slowly, as different kind of compulsions take over, without knowing why, everything is going on fine with your life. Your business is going fine, your family is good, you have good relationships, you are making money, everything. But slowly, face is becoming longer and longer. You're doing desperate acts to be happy. As people get richer and older, you will see they start doing more and more desperate things to be happy, isn't it so? So, the more desperation comes because you're trying to make a small aspect of your life everything. It'll not work. And today especially, the culture is becoming like this, especially the Western cultures have made body into everything.
कि ये जो 5 विकार हैं, ये डे बाय डे सृष्टि पर क्या होते जा रहे हैं? क्या होते जा रहे हैं? बहुत बढ़ते जा रहे हैं, बहुत बढ़ते जा रहे हैं। हमें इसको सृष्टि से खत्म करने के लिए ये 7 गुणों को क्या करना है? ये 7 गुणों को बढ़ाना है। जब ये 5 विकार सृष्टि पर होते हैं तो ये कलयुग है। अगर हम इन 7 गुणों को ले आए आगे तो हमारी सृष्टि क्या बन जाएगी? सतयुग बन जाएगी, स्वर्ग बन जाएगी।
Koji, you can continue.
Okay, so today we have done, in these 2 days, we have discussed in very depth of the thing. You have seen the videos, you've heard all the scholars also, you made your notes also. So today now we are going to have a little bit of quiz and understand that have you actually listened to us? Because if you've understood and you've taken the knowledge, then only you can transmute and make it into wisdom. So Arvinder, you can take the quiz now.
Yes, we have covered a wide spectrum of lust in these past 2 sessions. And we have also heard what other spiritual leaders, be it Sri Ravi Shankar Ji or Sadhguru or Sister Shivani or Brahma Kumaris, what do they have to say on this topic? And now we are open to inputs, sharing, queries. If any of you want to share, give your perspective of what you think lust is, or what have you learned from it, what tools are you going to take, how to overcome this. So we are open to discussions now. Post that, we can carry on with our quiz. So yes, any of you would like to share on this wonderful topic? Well, I think everybody was on the same page. All the spiritual leaders were basically on the same page,
On the same,
right?
yes. Yes, you're all on the same.
Yes, Sri said, keep stimuli at bay. Do not
Yes.
watch too much of pornography. Keep yourself busy was his punchline. Yes, we have to keep. Nivella dimag hunda hai to
Yes.
shaitan da kar.
Sports also was very,
Yes.
very insane. You
Yes.
see, ajkal the time they which, even if you go with any other problem, leave alone these 5 vices also, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh. Even if you go for some mental problem, like you go for a bipolar or dyslexia, all the doctors describe sports. The heading first line is sports, because know that when they're giving the sports, then at that time the blood flows towards the brain, and it is the brain where all the chemicals and all are taking place, they're excreted. So it is very, very important, very, very important. Hanji.
Yes, I think channelizing our hormones in a
Yes.
constructive way.
Because we are always in a destructive way, so we have to constructive way. We have to channel ourselves.
Yes, exactly. Anybody would like to input anything? Anybody would like to share anything before we start our quiz? Any queries, any questions anybody has? Whatever we have discussed in these last 2 days. last two sessions. So, okay, I think everybody has understood. So we are all ready for the quiz. If there are no questions, it's a positive sign that everybody's understanding and we're all on the same page, right? So are we ready for the quiz? A very simple one. So how do we go about it? We'll post some questions. And if you want to write the answer, it's like an MCQ, right? We have questions like answers A, B, C, D. So if you want to write your answer and you want to evaluate yourself, you want to score yourself, you do not have to disclose a score to us. So it's just for your evaluation. But if you feel you just want to answer it in your head, so you cannot write it, you can just keep the answer in your mind, right? So are we ready to go? Yes, can we have the quiz on the screen, please? So this is what we have learned in the last 2 days. So let's see how much of it we were able to retain. So we have 10 questions. So you can mark yourself and give yourself 10 on 10. You need not tell this to us, but see how much of it you have understood.
Ravinda ma'am, screen is visible?
Yes, yes, yes. So I just want to take a minute now. Everybody, please focus your attention on this slide. Okay, please let's have the slide again. This previous slide. Yeah. So I want you to unmute and tell me, what do you see in this slide? What do you think we are trying to say? Anybody wants to take a guess? Hanji?
Lust versus love.
Yes, okay. Anything else, LEG? Anything else that you can see on the slide? What are we basically trying to say, other than the words that we have written there?
To be in harmony.
Love.
Balance.
Yes, I want to answer, Arvinder Miss.
Yes, sure.
Love could be between anyone, a male, female, like this. You are depicting, maybe. I don't know.
Excellent, Kanupriya ji. Yes. It need not be not being gender biased over here. When we think of lust, it's only a male and a female, right? So it could be anybody. Let's not be gender biased. Let's not discriminate based on gender. So how beautifully it is being depicted on this Jeevan Jach platform here, right? Okay, let's start. Now this was not part of the quiz, but yes, Kanupriya ji, excellent. Okay, so what is the definition of lust? Right? We have three answers. Is it an intense feeling of love and affection, an excessive or unrestrained sexual desire, or is it a deep emotional attachment to someone? What do you think? Kalbe session which Puaji had explained definition of lust.
It is B.
So can you give the right answer? No, you don't have to answer, Deepaji. It's for yours.
Okay.
Excellent, but you have to keep it to yourself, right? You can either write it down or you can just write B and 1 mark for each question. At the end of the quiz, you can evaluate yourself. Okay, fine. So can we go to the next one? If everybody's written this answer, we move on to the next question. We'll give you the answer also. Yes. An excessive or unrestrained sexual desire. So whoever has given the right answer, pat yourself on the back and give yourself 1 mark. Great going. Next. Okay. Which of the following is not, okay, be careful, is not a synonym of lust? Desire, passion, devotion. Not a synonym. I hope you know the meaning of synonym. Synonym matlab same meaning wale, samanarthi shabd. Not a synonym of lust. Desire, passion, devotion. Yes, we can have the answer. Yes, devotion obviously is not the synonym of lust. Great. So next one. Okay. In which of the 7 deadly sins is lust characterized? So lust comes under which category, right? Greed, wrath, envy, lust itself. How would you characterize lust? Does it come under greed? Does it come under wrath? Does it come under envy or lust itself? This is a very simple question. Yes, lust itself. Lust itself is a deadly sin. Okay, great. And we move on now. Which Greek mythological figure is lust associated with, right? Like we have Greek god of love, Greek god of death, so all these things. So which Greek mythological figure is lust associated with? Zeus, Apollo, Aphrodite, yeah, Hades. If you have read any book, if you have read, these are very famous mythological figures. So lust is associated with which Greek figure? Yes, we have all heard of aphrodisiacs. So Aphrodite is the Greek mythological figure associated with lust. I'm sure most of you must have got it right. Satya Jut, true or false? Lust is always considered as negative or immoral emotion. Keep in mind, what did Pooja say today? Is it always negative or immoral? What's the answer? Yes, what you spoke about healthy lust. So it's not always negative and immoral. Okay. What is a term for a person who has an excessive or uncontrollable sexual desire? How would you term such a person? Lustful, libidinous, lecherous, or all of the above? What do you call such a person who has an unlimited sexual desire? Is he lustful? Is he libidinous? Is he lecherous? Or is he all of the above? All of the above, right? Great, let's move on. Okay, we have all read about Shakespeare's famous plays. There are movies based on all these. So let's recollect our school and college days. Which famous play by William Shakespeare features a character named Lust? In which play we have a character by this name? Macbeth, Romeo and Juliet, Othello, Hamlet. It should be very easy. Yes, it's a love story, Romeo and Juliet, and we had a character in it named Lust. Okay, next. Which of the following is not a common symptom or characteristic of lust? Obsessive thoughts about the desired person, increased heart rate and arousal, emotional intimacy and connection, and a focus on physical appearance. Not a common symptom of lust. So if you're lusting for somebody, which will be the common symptom and which will not be? Question is, which is not a common symptom of lust out of these four? Yes, lust knows no emotions. What is a term used to describe lust that is primarily based on physical attraction rather than emotional connection? Based only on physical attraction. This also Pooja did yesterday. Is it romantic love? Is it infatuation? Is it lustful desire? Or is it just pure lust? If it is based on physical attraction rather than emotional connection, what would you call that? Love, infatuation, lustful desire, pure lust. Yes, you would call it infatuation. Yesterday we did this difference between infatuation and lust. Okay, so this is the last one. In the context of lust, what does the acronym, this abbreviation, NSFW stand for? Even I had got this wrong. Not suitable for work, new standards for wildness, no shame, full wickedness, naughty, sexy, freaky, wild. What does NSFW stand for? Yes, let me explain this. Not suitable for work. This is like, suppose we get a video, we get a GIF, we get any context written in our mobiles or in our mails, which has maybe objectionable content or something which is not suitable. So utte likhya on that, not suitable for work. Like you can open it at your own risk. So that is what it stands for, NSFW. I think most of us must have written naughty, sexy, freaky, wild. So that is what I had done. So with this, we come to the end of our quiz, and let's see how we have evaluated ourselves. Anybody wants to share their scores, please feel free to share. I had shared miserably, let me tell you that. So anybody wants to share and say, okay, I did this right, I did that wrong. We are open to it. Great. Archana, ji, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Eight, you said. Okay. Kanupriya, you 6. Great, great, great. Excellent, excellent. Very good. So we are open to sharing. Please come on and share your views. Yes, Kaval, 7.
7. Okay,
very good. Great, lovely. The last one, what did you all write? NSFW? Most of you all? Did anybody write not suitable for content? No?
I did.
Yes, yes. You who? Priya. Excellent. Great, lovely. I wrote naughty, sexy, freaky, wild. Yeah, but that was the most obvious one. Okay, Ekta, that was a guess. But still, nevertheless, yes. Good thinking out of the box. Nice. Yeah, so let's quickly have your views, your comments, your perception on this topic. Please feel free to share. It's your platform. Unmute yourself and share. It's a very safe space. Anything that you want to say. Such a hot topic, and we have so many ladies here. I'm sure we all want to pour out.
I think Param wants to speak up. Anji, Param, you can.
Yes, you can unmute yourself.
Yes, I've unmuted. Thank you. It was a lovely session. This is the first time I'm attending. The best part I liked what you taught yesterday was treat such people with empathy. They are in trouble. Please help them.
Yes, you're right.
I love that. Instead of point. So it's actually, that's what is needed. And it will help them also enjoy, come out of it and enjoy their life and live in a true sense. That's what I really like that. Thank you so much.
God bless you. Okay. Anji, anyone else? No query? No question, no doubts. Anji, Archana. Yes.
What all I could understand, especially for children, it is very important to make them understand or to feel comfortable with opposite sex. If you don't make a big issue, boyfriend and girlfriend, friend is friend. When we have to teach them about opposite sex.
Yes.
If they say, no, don't go with boys, don't go with girls, then a barrier of sex is there. And they break.
Yes.
Especially that feeling comes. If we say friend hai, boyfriend hai, boys bhi to friend hote hai, girl bhi friends hote hai. So if we make the word friend, boyfriend or girlfriend very casual, then the children will never get into it. Mostly they do.
Good. Yes. That is why on these platforms and all, we are doing different type of webinars on adolescents, how to communicate with the children, how to make them understand. Because we of the old time people and all, we've always been showing them, chup, don't talk. Bacha bigad gaya, uska girlfriend ho gaya. Aaj ye ladki bigad gayi, iski to boyfriend ho gayi. This is what we've been doing. But this is all inside the box, and nothing is outside the box. Because this is the result. When in adolescence, the chemicals are being released in the brain throughout the adolescent, body changes and the emotions also change. So we have to communicate with the children. That is what we are trying to come up with all these workshops where we are educating the parents, all of them, that you can handle your children. Because these things start, infatuation all starts in the adolescence also. Anji.
Yes. So Paramji, if you are the first day you've joined and you're a new thing and you commented on empathy. So let me tell you, we have done an entire series on this. Puaji has done on empathy, apathy. So that can be revisited. It's there on our Jeevan Jach YouTube channel.
Thank you so much. I will do
Yes,
that.
so that was, yes.
Kaval, you wanted to say something? Unmute.
I was teaching, and I found something, at that time, like it was almost 30 years ago. A little child, he just joined school, and both the parents were doctors. So they were, they asked us to keep the child for a longer period in the school itself, because they said once he goes home, he changes his dress and he removes the uniform, and being a boy, he likes to put on frocks and dance and sing. So they were worried. Like I found that like Ravi Shankar ji was also saying, and I've heard, and the parents were so well educated, but they were also trying to keep him occupied all the time. But I found that the child was so much, into other activities that he was overstressed. And what was going inside him, he wasn't able to express. So my query is that how should, being into this field like I used to be, but still, that question, Hans, I wasn't of much help. Like I tried to tell the parents that I think what he misses is quality time with you. You being into this medical line, both of you are occupied, and there's nobody to listen to him what is actually going inside. So what should be exactly done in such a scenario? I want to know this.
See, in this scenario, for example, the child is being kept in the school for a longer time because he goes home and he wears frocks. That means it is a male and wants to wear more frocks and behaves like that. So they are aware that's phobias, that they are scared. They are scared that being a male, why does he want to wear a frock, cannot behave like this one. So they're keeping him over there. That means they're damaging him more. They're damaging the child more. See, but if the yin is there in him, you can do nothing. Let it go. Let it go. At this time, the children are still judging, that is my yin or is it my yang? They don't know, they're confused. So the parents have told them into their already one trauma they're going through, they'll go through another trauma also.
And that's what I felt, and I told them also, like he wasn't open, he was always shy, and most of his traits were, girlish traits. So, and at times he used to start, crying unnecessarily, like was very good academically, was very good. But some, there was suppression of feelings, of emotions. And
the parents should listen to him. They should listen to him. There are many things going inside him, which he is not sure about it himself only. There is an imbalance of the yin and yang.
Okay. Thank you.
Bless you, Vijay. Anyone else?
This is just a tip of the workshops that are to follow. So we have lots more in store for us. It's going to be fun, informative, interactive. So keep connected and be there always.
I think we should now wind up and meet you tomorrow at 7.
Yes.
So we'll
thank you so much for
what
joining.
Is the other energy that enters through the gateway? So, okay, bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.